Hi, and welcome to the Academy of Magical Arts. This is Iana Rain, and I'm going to talk to you today about a spell for the upcoming new year. I know it's been a while since I've done any videos, and I apologize. I don't know about any of you, but I know that 2016, for a lot of in tune and magical people, has been extraordinarily roller coaster like. It's been a very rough ride. Lots of growing, lots of ascending, very much lots of learning. I can tell you that I myself have had to turn inward on many occasions, and that of what I thought I knew has been challenged, and it's been quite the ride. So again, I know it's been a while. I've missed you all. I hope that everybody is well and that you have been working on everything that you feel you should be to be your lighter, brighter self. So I was thinking about how this last year has been such a challenge, and I've heard from many people that it has been. So I was trying to think about, what the best thing for me to bring to you on this occasion. And it occurred to me that, I've been promising some spell work and I have not done any. So here we go. We are going to do a prosperity spell for the new year. And basically, first of all, I want to talk to you about protection. And anytime you're going to cast any kind of spell, I want to make sure that you are in a great place, a place of protection. You're going to want to set up a boundary. Some people cast a circle. I know that there are many ways to do this, so I would encourage you to make sure that you are in a sacred space. And we do have videos about creating sacred space, so go ahead and refer to that if you have any questions. So when you're using spell work and placing your protection around you, it's important to also think about safety, because in this spell that I'm going to share with you, you will be burning candles as well. So I was thinking about how we could incorporate something that's going to be very positive and bring in prosperity, especially looking back at what kind of year 2016 is. And I know that also in numerology, this is a number 9, and that is a year of completion. But what it also sets is the precedence of what you're going to be bringing in the next cycle. And so I don't know about you guys, but I definitely don't want to take what's been going on into the next cycle. Even though it's been extremely helpful for growth, I'm tired. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely time to start moving onward and upward and stop as much of the struggling as we possibly can. So when thinking about this, one of the things that I took in consideration was, how can we incorporate something for the entire year? And so the best way to do that is to incorporate something for each month of the year. And so I started thinking about it, and I think that what would be best is using, for a New Year's spell, the 12 houses of the zodiac, kind of like setting it up like a clock face and placing intentions for like the next 12 months for the upcoming year. So basically, this is going to be something that's very powerful. And you can personalize this to your own liking. You can do this for yourself. You can do it in a group of people. Just keep in mind that you want to have the same intention, and make sure that everybody's in a very good, positive place, and be as clear as you possibly can. So what I think the best thing to do to start out would be like maybe setting up the supplies that you need, and you're going to probably want to use a white candle. And the reason why I'm saying that, you're going to need 12 of them, of course, because we're following the zodiac with this and the houses. And so the reason why I'm saying white is that the correspondence of a white candle is good for any kind of ritual or spell work, and it can also be used basically any moon. It's like the best substitute. If you wanted to go more in depth, you could definitely find the correspondent color for each month. But again, I think the white candle for raising, the vibration, it's very good for protection and purification, innocence, truth. It's also one for connecting with peace. This candle is also good for like balancing, destroying negative energy. It's very influential. Any kind of white candle on an altar also can represent the god and the goddess. So, this is going to be like, I feel, the very best choice that you could possibly have. It's amazing for positive energy, and it's calling it into your life. It's good for connecting with spirit. It's just an all-around very high, powerful color. You don't have to have pillars for this. If you're going to set up a circle like a clock, maybe on a floor, so you can kind of sit in the center of it, it's best to use like tea lights. But again, you can put your personal touch on it and basically do whatever it is that you feel is right for you. One of the things too, I just want to reiterate that you should be very careful when burning an open flame, and just be very aware of your surroundings. So what you're going to want to do is like to prepare for the New Year spell. First, you got to know your houses. So we're going to go through those really quick, and I want to just kind of briefly share. You can go in more depth if you want to look any of this up. But the first one we're going to do is Aries. And it's all about seeds, new beginnings, inspiration, new projects, and birth. Number 2 is Taurus. And it's the earthly source. It's material wealth and physical health. 3 is Gemini. And that's communication, messages, and information. Number 4 is Cancer. And this deals with relationships, with self, others, and very much higher forces and higher influences. Moving into the 5th, which is Leo, is art, romance, luck, free will, creativity, and love. Moving into the 6th house, this is Virgo. Virgo is service, family, community, and organization. The 7th house is Libra. It's harmony, balance. It's also about negotiations and resolutions. You got to think about justice when you think about Libra. The 8th house is Scorpio. This is all about magic, philosophy, sex, death, and alchemy. So it's taking something that, changing and creating something. Going into the 9th house, this is Sagittarius, and this is spirituality, universal consciousness, law, and science. The 10th house is Capricorn. This is power, authority, fame, and empire building. So this is all about success. 11 is Aquarius, and this is about renewal and evolution, transcendence to the old, and transpersonal communications. Going into the last house, it's the 12th house. This is Pisces. This is soul, karmic matters, mystery, and far journeys. So what you're going to want to do is take these 12 houses, and for like example, if you want to begin and start something new, you want to make up your mind on what it is that you want to do and write it down and be very clear on it before you start. Put all of your desires for these spells and these correspondences down on a piece of paper. And, for example, you could choose to say, when you're getting ready to light each candle, you could say, Lord of the stars, now hear my plea. Bring wondrous excitement to me. In perfect love and harmony, this is my will, and so shall it be. You can that was just, off of the top of my head here. But, you get the idea. Just personalize it for yourself. You can work through all 12 houses and positions, and you can say whatever you want, write it down if it's necessary. Just, personalize it for yourself, make a little note. You could have it different for each direction, depending on what it is that you want to create for that. You can also, invoke the Lord and the Lady of the Stars. You can invoke Jesus Christ or your higher self, any kind of deities that you see fit. This is a personal preference. This is definitely your spell work. You want it to be as much connected with you as possible and to your inner self. When thinking about laying out this pattern of spell work and the 12 candles that you're going to be lighting, just really, really look inward, and I encourage you to focus on what it is that you truly want to bring forth. And what you can do is, You can also take like clear quartz or any kind of crystals that correspond with each month as well. And this is just something to amplify your spell. It's not necessary. And you can also mark those with the candles around in your circle. And it also helps to, like I said, just amplify what it is that you're doing. It's not necessary. I know some of you may not have access to certain gems and crystals, but it's just another way to personalize it. So what you're going to want to do for casting and putting this ritual up, like I said, you're going to set these candles around in the houses. You can sit in the middle of it as you're lighting each candle. You go ahead and recite what it is that you would like to recite. This is okay if you put on paper and just, that part of it doesn't have to be extremely formal. This is coming from your heart, and I encourage that. It seems to be producing some of the strongest magic that way. So you're going to want to cast individually on each zodiac sign, and if you would like to cast in quarters, you're welcome to do that as well. I personally would encourage you to rest on each house. It just feels intuitively like that would be the best thing for what it is you're trying to manifest and create and the spell you're trying to set for yourself. So with that being said, you can use any kind of thing in your ritual, any kind of favorite altar cloth. You can use any kind of pictures you would like. Keep in mind that you're going to want to again, be very, very clear. You want this to be upbeat, and you are going to be sitting in this beautiful circle of light after you light all of your candle. What you can also do is the day of this, you're talking about going into New Year's Eve here. That would be the best day, I feel, for this. And you start with each hour counting into the New Year. So you're going to want to start, and this is another way to do it. I should be clear on that. If you're not going to sit in the circle and light them, in that last hour, you can take the 12 hours before it actually turns over into the new year and light each candle and dedicate that hour to creating that energy that you want to put into it, and then move to the next one until it turns into the next year. Just another way to look at it. It's very much whatever resonates within you. I just want to be clear. I know that I'm kind of going all over here, but it really is just about what it is that you're focusing on. So with that being said, I just want to go over a little bit about, be very, very clear. And I would like for you, when you are actually doing your ritual, like I said, I really want you to personalize this to the best of your vibration, the match of it. And, I just want you to make sure that you set the ambience for what it is that you're desiring. To get ready for this, you could do like a ritual bath. You can dress in ceremonial clothing for it, any kind of jewelry, just make sure everything is cleansed really well. Make sure you have your candles ready. You can, for this New Year's note, like I said, you could be on the floor, you could be on the table. You can, do it outside if you prefer. I would definitely recommend, if you are outside, not to do the hour a candle spell. I feel like that is possibly and potentially asking for some issues. But I would definitely, if you had a safe place to do that, maybe burn the candles inside of a cup of water, just enough to be safe. It's definitely something you would have to meditate about and ask. So I would recommend, definitely being very comfortable, and before you start your ritual, take some really deep breaths and some cleansing breaths. 3 is always an amazing number, I feel. And so when you are ready to do this and it's all set and ready to go, you are going to want to, say something along the lines of, for invoking right before you're getting ready to light candles, you're going to want to say something like, on this night, I bless the year to come. May will be heard, my will be done. You can light the first candle and invoke the request that you have made for 1 o'clock position, and place the candle in that position. Take a very deep breath and be clear to your mind. Pick the next candle up, light it from the first candle, and put it in the 2 o'clock position. So you're going to want to repeat this until your circle is established. And with both hands over the circle in a clockwise direction, you're going to invoke, on this night, I bless this year to come. My will was heard, and so it is done. So at this point, you've concluded this very easy spell, and you can bow your head, and I do not recommend blowing out the candles. If it is safe to allow them to burn, I would recommend burning them until they go out on their own. It's very, very powerful that way. In addition, this spell can be done, like I said earlier, with a group of people. If you have a coven, as long as everybody is in the right frame of mind. You can also have each person stand in a house if that's what you choose. With this New Year's spell, you can strip it down and simplify it, and you can use any kind of stones from outside. It doesn't have to be, it's really more, this is a very simple, easy spell, and it really truly is just about what your personal preferences are. Another way of doing this spell is to bless and put wishes out for the Lord of Time and the Lord of Space. And basically, it's just calling on that energy and requesting the intentions from that energy source. So this is a really spectacular thing for the new year. You could, in some cases, if you were to have a party and use a group of people, some people recommend, the fireworks because of the burst of energy and its actual fire. You can write down a purpose for each month and light off a firework for that, if it's permitted, of course. I know that where we are located, that is not permitted. It is only permitted on designated holidays. One of the other things you can do, instead of lighting the candles that are in a circle, you can do those lanterns that you can light and raise. They raise to the heavens, and you would do the same thing, following 1 through 12 in the different houses, and you would light each one, and as they raise, you would light the next one. That is a very beautiful, symbolic thing to do. It's very beautiful for the new year coming. If you can get your hands on something like that, you're going to want to make sure all of your tools are blessed before you do this as well. So that's just another thought. Also, I would possibly think about doing a ritual beforehand to just kind of let go of all of the stagnant energy that doesn't serve a purpose, stuff that, we want to let go of for this year. Something that you can do for that is get a piece of paper and write down all of the things that you would like to leave behind. Make sure that it is with good intentions and not done in poor taste. Harm none, do as you will. And what I would recommend is going ahead and, getting a little cauldron if you have one, or a safe place, maybe a pan or a pot, or, some dirt place on stone, whatever you can find that would be safe to light that. And what you could do is light a white candle in ritual, give it intention, and lift those right up. Go ahead and light that and lift it and let go of it. And set it and just let it go, and just start everything from a very clean new slate. Again, I want this to be very personal. I want it to come from the heart. If this is something that works for you, please let me know what you're thinking. It's very, very simple. This is a very simple spell. Again, there's really no wrong way to do this. This is all about what your personal preferences are. You can go in as much depth as you would like. You can also make it as simple as you'd like. So with that being said, I'm going to say very, very happy Yule to you. I would like to say I hope that this new year brings you prosperity and abundance and comfort and peace. I hope that you all are in great positions and you have what makes your heart sing. This is Iana Rain, and peace and prosperity for you all. Much love. Namaste and blessed be.